Hey, Darvin, how were you managing the minutes and trying to figure out the swings when you're down by 20, get up 13, and LeBron and AD had played most of the second half? What were you trying to figure out there as you got down at crunch time?
I mean, just strategically trying to see how we can wisely use our timeouts and, give them breaks that way. It's hard because you don't want to – it's twofold. Like, these guys on the court, and I mentioned it after the Detroit game, you have guys that are in a good rhythm together, so you don't want to disrupt that. And on the flip side of that, you don't want to put a player at risk because they've been sitting down over there on the bench for so long, and then you bring them out there and they expect them the intensity and the speed of the game is at such a level to where it's very easy to get hurt in a situation like that. So just trying to manage the timeouts. I could have done a better job in certain instances and using my timeouts quicker. But that falls on me. I've got to get better in that regard, but I'm proud of my guys. I'm disappointed we lost. I'm proud of my guys. They competed, all the way to the end, and we gave ourselves a chance to win the game and just didn't, came up a little bit short. Dave?
Yeah, so unlike Philly, where you had the missed layup from LeBron and the missed pull-up from Russ, and it seemed like the momentum kind of went the opposite way from there. You did score the first 4 points in overtime tonight. Where do you think it changed from that point?
I mean, I have to go back and look at the film. It was just different situations where, we're trying to force read the ball to our main guys, and they collapse, they crowd them, the ball gets sprayed around, and guys, left, and it's a make-or-miss league, so you have to make-or-miss it. And those are good looks. And the biggest thing is, once we go back and look at the film, is to see if we can get a second or third action quicker. And then that doesn't mean that the ball won't come back to the person that we want to have it. But just getting the things quicker. And it's tough. I mean, it's a hard-fought game. Guys are fatigued. And the gin up that pace like that is like – we're human, and you're going to need breaks. You're not going to need to, take deep breaths and try to regather yourself, especially, you get to overtime, and now you got to play another additional 5 minutes, and certain guys have been on the floor the entire fourth quarter, so it's why it's hard. That's why you got to be thankful when you get a W in the NBA, man. It's a tough league, especially against a team like that. I mean, one false move, they're going to make you pay, so it's just a matter of getting the things quicker.
Darvin, to drill a little bit down on what Mike was asking, you had the same lineup the whole fourth quarter, most of the overtime. Was there just a certain point where you decided, these guys, I'm going to run with them? Did that reflect maybe the result of this game just feeling more significant? I mean, that's something you usually see in maybe a playoff game, not usually regular season.
Yeah, it was, it's one of these games where you look back when we played Milwaukee, and I'm just speaking on us personally. You look at the Milwaukee game, you look at the Philly game, you look at this game, like these are high-level opponents. And so, to see our guys rise to the occasion was great to see. And, again, you go through your rotation in the first half, third quarter, and that's going to reveal to you who's in a good rhythm, what lineup is working together. And this lineup that I had with Russ, Austin, Troy, Bron, and AD was working. It got us back into the game. It got us the lead and a commanding lead down the stretch. But at the end of the day, man, you just have to go with your gut and live with the results. And that's what I'm doing. It just... Another, additional point, and for anyone that was prepared to ask this question, is what I told the team after the game is, everybody could talk about free throws, this and that, but whether it's Boston or the Sixers, whoever, the thing we can't do is spot teams 15, 17, 20-point leads, give up 30-plus points per quarter in the first half. Like, we have to do a better job of coming out and from the tip off, pressing our will upon our opponent and showing them what the game is going to be like, what our Laker identity is going to mean during this game, and that has to be on a consistent basis. What you saw in the second half, us digging in defensively, running, getting looks, attacking the paint. That's what I want our identity to be, just a tough, physical, smash-mouth basketball team and who gets stops. And we just can't keep spotting these leads because if we play like that out the gate, who knows? Maybe our starters get the rest of the last 6 minutes of the game, last 7, 8 minutes of the game. So we have to think of it in those regards. And I just, we'll get better. We'll get better. It sucks, man, and I'm so disappointed we didn't get that and close it out, but we'll get better from it for sure.
Darvin, to take it a few minutes before overtime, I think you guys had a 12-point lead with like 4:48 left. What did you see kind of execution-wise on both ends? And, was it similar to overtime, or did you see kind of something different that wasn't working down those last few minutes?
I just saw us attacking the paint, and again, sometimes, most times, your defense is your best offense. And the way we were getting into them, just our individual pride on the ball, containing them, forcing them into bad shots or bad passes, and that in turn allowed us to run freely, get easy looks. And the ball was hopping. We were attacking downhill. We weren't settling, throwing lobs to AD, getting to the free throw line, just putting pressure on the paint and really attacking the rim. And that's pretty much it. It's not rocket science. It's like you play good defense, you cause bad shots, and long misses turn into layups, and turnovers turn into layups. So I credit that to our defense.
That's one, Dan. Darvin, how do these almosts kind of sit with you? On one hand, you've got the proof, to a certain extent, that you guys can play with Boston, you can play with Philly. Obviously, you beat Milwaukee, but to come short in 2 of those games because of some execution things. I guess how does that sit with you?
I mean, I had one of our assistant coaches from our G League team give me a great quote. He said, "You never become a good sailor in smooth waters. It always has to be, you guiding the ship through storm after storm after storm, and then that's when you really show your true mettle as a credible, high-level sailor." And I believe in that wholeheartedly. And it like I said, I'm disappointed, but this is year one. I mean, we're coming up on, being 30 games in. We still have 55 games left to play. I'm not quitting anytime soon. My staff, and we're not quitting anytime soon. So as much as it pains me that we've lost these tough games, it's also inspired me because we're right there, and we've had it in our hands. I mean, we make 3 free throws, who knows what happened. But also, if we come out aside from that and not have to depend on that because we came out from the start of the game and pressed our will and played at a high level defensively consistently and played, organized, controlled basketball offensively, we'll be okay. And we're going to get there, man. You got to go through the bad to get to the good. I mean, it's just that's the science of life, whether you're in business or basketball, whatever. You just got to go through the bad to get to the good, and I'm up for it. I'm not going to stop fighting, either with my staff, our team, or our organization. We're just going to fight through it until the point where we won't be having these type of outcomes.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.